Welcome to another episode of the Fearless Launching Show. I'm your host, Ann Samoylov. Today, we have a very special guest. We've been having a lot of special guests, people that I've been dying to get on the show that I'm just like, get on here, I need to talk to you. Today, we're talking to the creator of the Minnow Pond Tarot YouTube channel. Yes, okay. So the reason why we're doing this is because I wanted to talk about building your community on YouTube, but also just building that YouTube channel. I think that we forget that there are so many different ways to build our business. And the creator of the channel, I've become part of the community, which is kind of funny to jump on live streams and have his dad say, Ann, hello. And yes, I discovered Chris and then did a little stalking. So he's going to tell me that is so Pisces of me, and he's probably right. Pisces are stalkers, just FYI. We know everything about everyone, even if we don't actually do the work to find that out for real. But anyways, I found some interesting things about Chris, who's the creator of the channel, and have literally just been like, man, this is really interesting. Watching the community grow, seeing how everybody interacts with each other, and am so excited for him to share what else he's up to in the world. Haha, like I don't know some of those things that he's up to. And I think you're going to just love getting to know him. He is not what I would call a typical tarot reader. And so don't just tune out because you're like, dang it, I do not like tarot. Or I am not woo-woo like this. This is literally a perfect episode for you if you want to build your own community on any platform, because he's got some really great advice no matter what. And about starting anything new, really. You're going to get some insight there. I just know it. And he has a YouTube, since he's got this YouTube channel that's been growing, I think that if you're trying to grow your own channel, you probably are asking, how long is this going to take? What do I need to do? And I really do believe Chris has the secret sauce to that. So let's dive in. Let's get to know Chris Reck. And I'm excited. I'm excited for this one. Okay, I promise not to ask for a tarot reading. I can't promise that. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll see you on the inside. Hi, I'm Ann Samoylov, and I've helped some of the biggest online entrepreneurs and business owners have successful 6- and 7-figure product launches by working in the trenches offline to produce movies, TV shows, video games. I've discovered so many different ways to launch creative ideas. And the question is, do you have to copy what your guru says in order to have a successful launch? Do you have to use their done-for-you system in order to have success, in order to achieve your goals in business? I say no. This is the Fearless Launching Show featuring myself and an ongoing cast of characters, friends who join me in discussing business, launching, life, and balancing it all and having an amazing time doing it. Let's get into today's episode. All right, Chris, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
In the intro, I did share how I discovered you. And honestly, thank you to YouTube's algorithm, I guess, that just shares things that I might be interested in. And one of those things is tarot on YouTube. I watch a number of people and I found yours, and yours has quickly become like pretty much the one that I go to often, regularly, pretty much every single day, because you have things that you do every single day. So I just want to shout you out for that. And if there's anybody who's listening who's into tarot, which many of my audience are, so just go find Minnow Pond Tarot and thank me later. And I'll tell you, I'm actually going to share in a little bit why I actually prefer your tarot reading to other people's tarot reading. And this has been a discussion, believe it or not, Chris, offline between my friends. We've been like, yeah, I agree. We have this whole tarot dissertation that we give each other. So anyways, so the reason why I thought you'd be a great person to come on the show is because I love the way that, like, all of a sudden I'm part of this community, the Minnow Pond community. And I'm like, wait, I'm saying hi minnows every day. And I'm like, wait a second, how did he build this community? And I think there's probably like things that just kind of happened over time. as your YouTube channel has grown. But I just wanted to talk to you about that. So you open to sharing a little bit more about that today?
Yeah, absolutely. Be happy to.
Okay, but first, I would love to know like how you got to this point. You can give me like your brief history of the world that is yours. Like where did you start? Did you have any other businesses? And how did you kind of fall into this world of just your YouTube channel, tarot, all of that?
Yeah, sure. It's a very, very long story. I'll try to make it as brief as possible. But yeah, I've had a bunch of different businesses since I was younger. Actually, one of my first businesses was cleaning fish tanks. So I'm obsessed with fish, for those of you that don't know, and that's why it's called Minnow Pond. I started that. I think I was about 16 because I was working at an aquarium at the time, and I also did that on the side. And so that was like my first business, but then I've done pretty much everything along the way, affiliate marketing, I've done product launches, pretty much everything. But really what happened was I had a product launch business and I usually say that it failed. It didn't really fail. I just kind of drifted away from the business and let it die. And I wasn't really doing anything for months and months and months. I was just kind of like sitting in my room and doing nothing work-wise, and I've always wanted to have my own business. And but I always had these playing cards laying around. And for people that don't know, I'm super fidgety. My hands are always like super busy, and I had this eczema on my hands that was really bad. And my mom was like, maybe that is energy that's trying to come out of your hands. And so that's how I started reading in the first place. But it wasn't for it was probably like a couple months later that I actually started doing readings with the playing cards on YouTube, and that's kind of where it started.
Can I just tell you, the fact that you do the readings with just playing cards is that's like, okay, that's when you know someone knows their stuff. To me, I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. I'm like, how do I read playing cards? But anyways, so I think that's amazing. So tell me about like the product launch stuff that you were doing. Were you launching your products, other people's products, both, or how was that working?
Yeah, I started launching my own products. I would create products based off of a local agency I had, just techniques that I was using to help my clients in that agency. And I was teaching other people how to do that. And then I started helping other people with launches, mostly on the affiliate side of things. Actually, it's kind of weird, but I don't know if you want me to get into this, but I came up with a promotion technique, and then people started asking me to do it for their products, where I would kind of create a mini product based off of their product, and I would get people.
I love that. Tell me more. Are people still using this, perhaps?
So yeah, it's funny because now I saw a guy's product. I don't remember what it was called, but I saw a guy's product the other day. I actually created a product about this technique and a few years ago, and then I don't even know where it is. I think I have it saved on my Amazon Drive or whatever it's called, S3 still. But yeah, so I created a product about it, but I would basically do like a 5-day mini launch where I would teach people about how I was using the product itself that the person was selling.
Yeah.
And I would get them on a list. And I would also offer like a really useful bonus along with that. And so that's how I was promoting like affiliate offers with other people's products.
Well, I think that that's like such a simple, direct way to, promote somebody else's products, especially if you've gotten value from it. So I love that.
Yeah,
you got to pull that out.
Yeah, I do. It was, it's definitely something I've been thinking about doing more, and it's awesome. I had a really small list at the time, and I was always, I'm not saying this to brag here, but I was always at the top of the list for promotions and being like top affiliate for different promotions by doing that. Just really simple.
Yeah, keeping that simple and also just teaching that to other people. One of the things that I actually share with people inside my Fearless Launching course is just that one of the best ways to learn how to launch is to become an affiliate for someone else's launch and actually see all the things because bigger launches will create lots of different assets and different little pieces, and you'll see the entire email, you'll see the campaign before anybody else sees it. And then it allows you to just practice selling.
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
So I love that. And we'll have to talk about that more after. So you did that, and so are you at all involved in other people's businesses right now?
No, not currently. I've kind of stepped back from doing things like that. I've written, I write copy as well, and I've I pretty much have gotten away from that business completely, but I do occasionally write copy for people. I haven't in a very long time, probably like over a year at this point. I haven't written for anybody, but so at this point, no. But in the future, that could change.
Yeah. And so, okay, so you felt like you were very fidgety or you were very fidgety and your mom suggested, doing something, maybe with your hands, and then you started reading. So how did you even learn how to do that?
Well, I've always been weird, so I've always been into weird stuff, like especially tarot. So I mean, I don't even actually know when I got my first tarot deck. I had a tarot deck before I even had the playing cards, so it was a long time ago. But I've always been into tarot, always been into astrology, pretty much anything like that, and so I've always played with that. But the playing cards, I think I was listening to Coast AM, and I was listening to a guy who that's what he does. He uses an actual system. There's a difference because he uses a system to kind of read the cards. It's more set in stone. And the system is very strict that he uses to kind of like read playing cards. And that kind of got me interested in the playing cards. And because I was like, at the time I was supporting a lot of people on Kickstarter just because, and I had all these playing cards from Kickstarter because I just thought they were cool. And so I was always like shuffling them on my desk. And that's why my mom was like, "You're fidgety, you need to use your hands."
Interesting. You know what? Fun fact: when I was when I purchased one of your private readings, I was like, "Did he send that to me yet? Did Google eat that?" And I like did a search for your last name, and her name came up, and she was on my mailing list like years ago, and I was like, "What?" I was like,
Yep.
Stacy. That's why I always give her a hug because I'm like, Stacy. Oh, I'm so sorry. Is that okay if I said her name?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
She does not care.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. So I love that. I love that you did that. So then you obviously learned. I have a feeling you're probably really good at learning. That's a weird thing to say, but I feel like you probably learn things quickly. Am I wrong about that?
No, I think that I just like I get obsessed with things that I'm interested
Yeah.
in, so I just like, suck up the information. I wasn't a great student at all in school. I like if I don't like something, I'm probably going to fail the class. And so that was like math, for example. I was in remedial algebra till all the way through college. So if I'm not interested in it, I'm probably not going to pay attention or learn it. But things that I'm really interested in, I become obsessed, and then I learn everything I possibly can about it.
Okay, so then, of course, at some point you start a YouTube channel. I don't even
Right.
know how many years you've had that at this point.
I don't know either. I think it's been like 5 or 6 years. It's like 5 or 6 years old at this point.
Wow. I love that. And like, actually, I think there have been times where YouTube likes to serve up really like past videos and you're like, why am I seeing this?
Right.
And I think it was one of your super old videos. I'm like, why am I seeing this? But it was very like in the past. And I was like, I don't recognize that background. So I'm like, whatever. But anyways, I think that I'm curious, like, how did you start that? Did you just literally start? I mean,
I
I kind of know how you like to approach things just based on what you say on your daily readings.
right.
But did you just start?
I literally just started. My literally one day my mom was like, "You should be reading on YouTube," and that day I sat down and I did my first 12 videos. So I'm pretty spontaneous in the first place. Like when I get interested in something, I'll just do it, and I don't even think about it. So I like to just get started.
I love that. And then how long did it take, do you feel like, before, I mean, were you doing daily readings from the beginning or?
No, I've only been doing the dailies for the last year. It's been almost exactly a year. I mean, it has been exactly a year, but it's been just over like a year and a month.
Okay, so then when do you feel like the community started, like it started being something where you started noticing the same people showing up and I know that you can kind of tell that even if it's like a lot of people, you kind of have that name recognition of certain names you see. Did it take a while for that to kind of?
No, for me to develop the recognition myself.
Yeah, or no,
No.
just for people for you to
Oh,
start feeling like it was an actual community or something that was building here with your audience.
yeah, it did. It took like I would say, but only a few months. I would say it was pretty fast. So, but it's kind of weird because it's like I've had a lot of the same people since the beginning, but I've had a lot of people in between. So it's like people drop off, but you build those really like ravenous fans that stick around no matter what.
I don't know if I'm a ravenous fan, but I just enjoy it. I like coming
Right,
on
yeah.
and having your entire family say hello to me, and I'm like, hey, hey, hey. So that's fun for me. So
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun, right? Exactly. I think that's why people come back.
yeah, and so as your community has been growing, like obviously YouTube are their free readings. Has that I mean, actually, no, not completely, because of like during the live streams, people can send you super chats, which I didn't even know that those things existed until I went to one of your live streams. I didn't realize that that was even an option on
R-
YouTube.
Right.
When did that even start? Has it always been the case?
So super chats, I think, have only been around for a couple of years. But when I started, I was getting them right away. When I started going live, but I think you could have gone live like maybe a couple of years, starting I don't know 3 or 4 years ago. But I don't think super chats were a thing. And then it was like probably 2 years ago that super chats became a thing.
Yeah, and super chats really just allow there. It's a way for people who are watching the live stream to literally send you money.
Right, exactly, and just support the stream.
And yeah, and support the stream, or in the case of Chris's channel when he's live, super chats are a great way to just say, "Hey, I would like a special draw some cards for me, please." Or there's some awesome woman who always does a collective, and I'm like, I love her.
Yeah, Karen.
Oh, is that okay? That's KC. Is that
KC,
KC? Yes.
that is correct. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, which I love. So, if you are doing like this, is like one of those things, if you're not using that and you have like a regular kind of live stream or some sort of interactive, even type of stream that you do on a regular basis, do super chats. I mean, I've been on some of those live streams where people are like donating like $100. I'm like, what? It's
Yeah,
crazy, but it's amazing.
it is amazing. Yeah, and people will do large donations from time to time.
Yeah, I love that. So, when did you start offering things that were not on YouTube related to this tarot business?
As in like
Like
readings.
yeah, like private readings or
Oh, right,
whatever.
yeah. So I started doing the readings like right away, right when I started the channel, doing private readings.
And have those grown? I mean, as you're obviously, I feel like I'm asking like stupid questions kind of,
No, it's
but
okay.
like,
It's okay.
yeah, I'm
There
like,
are no stupid questions.
did they grow over time, or have you seen them grow more and more and more?
They kind of actually, it's kind of weird because they kind of like plateaued out. And I don't actively, what I should say is I don't actively promote the readings, or I don't actively promote my private readings as well. I'm not necessarily looking to get more clients. And so maybe if I were to actually tell people about it, I would get more readings, but it's pretty much plateaued out since I would say about like 2 years ago. I've always made about the same amount of money. But again, it's probably due to the fact that I just personally, I just don't promote the readings all that much.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see other people like they have their spiel every single video where they're like, if you'd like a private reading, blah, blah, blah. Like they like just mention all the things. You want a clearing and all this stuff. And you're like, so I
Right.
suppose if you did that, that probably would, help
Right.
people.
And I mean, my readings are definitely more expensive than what most people, would pay in the first place. And I mean, I did that on purpose because, I'm always working on other things, other projects, and other things that I'm interested in. So I don't like to dedicate too much time to doing the personal readings. It does take a lot of time, and it's kind of weird actually. Doing the personal readings really kind of takes it out of me a little bit more than doing, say, the dailies or the monthlies or the weeklies or whatever else I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I will say, and this is, I know, because I know I actually have the faces of the people that I know who've been through courses and different things, that they actually have either an oracle deck that they've created or tarot decks that they've created. And one thing that I noticed about you is that you read really fast, which I love, because then it feels like sometimes when people go really slow, it almost feels like they're kind of making it up. But like when you're going
Right.
so fast, you're like, oh my God, like, you're like, pay attention, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I love it. I love that style. And I think that's why people, stick around. But I'm curious, like, do you feel like, I mean, are you looking to grow this community? I saw that you have like a Minnow Pond Life now, that channel. I don't know if you're going to be doing more on that or if that's just something fun you decided to do or. if you have any other kind of goals for this Minnow Pond Tarot channel and community.
Right. So I want to, I'm trying to build a brand. Is what I've decided. And I've only recently decided this in the last maybe couple of months, and that I want to build more of a brand. So I'm getting more serious about it. Even on YouTube, even just this last week, I've been experimenting a lot more with like thumbnails and getting more serious about it. It's kind of weird because I love doing the readings, but I would say over the last like few months, I was kind of feeling a little bit like distant from the readings, and I felt like I lost some mojo, felt like I lost some energy and everything like that. So pretty much just a couple weeks ago, I decided that I was like, I'm not really giving this like as much effort as it deserves. So I pretty much decided that I was going to give it a real like shot for the next few months and see what I can do with the channel, because I know that I'm not doing as much as I could with it in the first place. And the other channel, Minnow Life, is going to be another channel that I'm going to be working on, and I'm going to be giving it pretty much the same amount of effort. So I'm going to try to split the time between the two things, talking about just things that I'm interested in on the Minnow Life channel.
I love that. I actually think that there is a lot of possibility for the brand. And I think that's probably why I continue to watch, because I can see that. I definitely got a hit on that right away. And and I noticed the thumbnails. I noticed those. Those looking good. They're looking good. But I mean, that helps you kind of stand out, because I don't know if you've felt it, but I felt like, and maybe it's just because I just started watching tarot videos or whatever on YouTube, but it seems like there are so many people on YouTube all of a sudden.
All of us, like when I started reading on YouTube, there were only, I don't know, a handful of us reading cards on YouTube, and it's like all of a sudden there's a ton of people. And so that's why I'm doing the thumbnails. If you notice, like not a lot of people in the tarot community are putting in a lot of effort into their thumbnails, where I mean people do thumbnails, but to me they don't really necessarily stand out, most of them. And again, this is not a criticism, it's just a
some of them look really spammy, to be honest, like the people who do them, and I'm like, dang, I don't want to read that, I don't listen to that.
Right. Go ahead.
No, it's like, that's it. I'm just like, but I can tell, like, because doing that thumbnail is just like an extra bit of effort that shows that you care about the channel.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is too, is effort. I've been trying to think about changing up my location where I'm shooting videos, paying more attention to like the quality of the video as well. So those are just some of the changes I'm making. I mean, it takes, normally the way I shoot videos, it would only take maybe 30 minutes max to upload the videos, but I've been shooting them in HD lately, so it takes like 12 hours to upload all the videos and every single week. So yeah, I think that it's an experiment, and we're going to see how it goes. We're going to see what happens with the extra effort.
Well, I can see like a lot of different things that I'll just have to share with you those with you offline. But like, I can just definitely see that there's a lot that you could do with this beyond, like, tarot can still be the core of it. But I feel like there's a lot that you do, like even inside just your regular readings that you could expand upon. Like, little features where you're actually doing your crappy astrology.
Right. Yeah. So that is definitely part of the change that I'm going to be making here over the next few months, is doing more stuff like that.
Yeah, because there are definitely things that I think that almost are inside jokes for people who attend regularly. That you're like, that's one, there's another.
Right.
No, like especially like the video that you posted recently about like, what's wrong with my face?
Oh, my face, yeah.
Oh my God, I just laughed so hard when I watched that. That was hilarious.
Right.
So let me ask you then, do you feel like you were like, did I hear rumblings or potential for like some sort of am I dreaming about a meetup or something like that? Somebody mentioned that.
Maybe, but somebody did I do remember somebody mentioning it. Mark? And It might have been.
Is Jim your dad?
Jim is my dad. Yes, he is.
Tell Jim I said hi. I love it when he says hi to me.
Absolutely. But he, it's definitely something I've thought about it's definitely something I've thought about, is doing meetups or doing a meetup or something like that, for sure.
Well, I actually do have something specific to ask you about, but I keep making this like a little bit of a tease for anybody who's listening. I'm like, but I'm going to ask you once I stop recording and no one can hear.
Right.
For because that's what I like to do, apparently. So beyond so you're focused on on Minnow Pond, growing that brand. What else? You said you're working on other projects too. What else is that are those the other projects,
Well,
or do you have other things?
I come from, and again, I've done product launches, but I've also done affiliate marketing as well. So I've run native ads, doing native advertising, Facebook ads, just promoting just random affiliate products. I do a lot of lead generation as well, but it's just, I think that what is making me switch to a brand is that I can use the same skills that I use for that, but it just feels like it has more longevity. I've just noticed over the years that affiliate marketing, creatives and things like that, the ads that I create, they last less and less and less. And the longevity just isn't there. So now I'm trying to create something that is actually going to last in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is true. That is true. Even like courses and things like that, they easily
Right.
get so outdated
Right.
and dated just in general, like where it's really hard to keep certain things current. It really is.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard.
So, okay. So what are you doing in your off time? What do you do to pass the time? Are you still in Washington, by the way?
I am in Washington. So,
In the same town that I lived in.
well, actually, I just moved down the
You
road.
did.
Yeah, to Redmond. So now I live in Redmond.
Okay,
Yep.
so Redmond. That's okay. That's okay. I liked Redmond. Let's see, what did I do there? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, there's this in the town center, there's this really great Italian restaurant that's kind of like on this corner that looks over BJ's. That's what it's called. BJ's Steakhouse or something like Claim Jump. I don't know. Something over there, but it's a really good one. You have to go there. It's on the top level, same level as the iPick.
I'm gonna have to. I think I know where that is.
Yeah, it's a good one. I love that place.
Right.
And you'll know because you'll walk in and there's like kind of like this fire pit inside. So, but when I found out that you were living in the same town, I'm like, that's really bizarre. That is really bizarre. When you discover weird synchronicities about
Right,
people,
yeah.
you're just like, what's going on here?
Right. It is weird. Yep.
So yes, I miss Washington so much. We've actually got we've got two women who are in the community that I've known in person, but they live up there. They live up in the Seattle area.
Oh, right.
So I love that. Well, I mean, do you have anything to share? Like any insights that you would share with people about, I mean, I think it feels really obvious to me what it takes to kind of just build a community like this and build the channel. It's just do it and do it consistently.
Right. I would say, I mean, I think that's honestly just consistency is the key. It's funny because I was saying to my mom like a while ago that I was looking at all the people who have like over a million subs or any channel that has over a million subs. And if you look at those channels, it seems to me that it's like the 7-year mark is when most channels take off. I know that sounds like a long time, but really it's not. And it seems also that channels are building even faster now today. But if you look at all these channels, it's like they've been consistently posting for like at least 7 years. It's like every single channel that I've looked at, it's always at that 7-year mark where they really take off. It's kind of like just a weird thing I've noticed. But it really is consistency. And I think really also now on YouTube, just one thing that I would say is just be different because there's just so many people on there that you have to have a way to stand out.
Yeah. I agree. And I feel like you have to show up often, kind of.
Right. Exactly.
Is that true? Do you feel? Because like there are some people, like even in the tarot space, who literally will not do any more than one video per month. And I'm just like, meh, I'm done with you.
Well, right. And, there's always going to be someone who's like, even if just looking at the tarot community as well, it's, most of my videos, I keep them shorter than 10 minutes. And there are plenty of people who are just willing to work harder than me and they win every single time. So it's like, you have to be willing to put in like more work than that, more than these people
But you know
who
what?
do a lot of work.
There's a time and a place for those 40, 50-minute monthly reads. That's just ridiculous. Like I might have been like, okay, this is going to get juicy. But then I'm
Right.
like, oh my God, I can't get that hour back. Whereas you're in and you're out with like a 10, 12, or, like under 20-minute reading.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, here's a little YouTube secret as well that I would say to people. The only benefit to it is that YouTube counts it as counts watch time almost like a percentage on videos, and videos with more watch time get promoted higher. So even on the benefit of those longer videos is even if somebody only watches like a quarter of the video compared to my video that's shorter time, they actually will rank higher because their percentage looks better inside of YouTube. So if somebody watches a quarter of my video, a quarter of their video, they win.
Interesting. So like, I mean, I don't ever see you running ads. So you're not getting like revenue or anything like that from them, are you?
I do run ads
Oh, you
on
do?
my
I don't even
videos.
see
Yeah.
them.
So YouTube, it's also like an auction-based system. So they distribute like a certain percentage of ads to every single channel. So not all your views are going to be monetized.
Right. And then, of course, maybe I just haven't noticed that they're somehow at the bottom of the frame and not just complete interrupters. I don't know.
Right, that's possible too. They could just be like on the side or at the bottom.
That's true. Interesting. Yeah, I also wondered about that too, because I do see a lot of people who are, there's this one channel, it's a Pisces channel, a few of them, they post 7 times a day. I'm like, does this person sleep? And they have kids in the background freaking out all the time. I'm like, what is that's for me, I'm like, they must be doing that so that it kind of ups that percentage of time watched.
Yeah, they could be doing that. Plus, I mean, there's a lot. I don't think anybody really knows what affects the YouTube algorithm, but I would say that consistency also, like if you're posting 7 times a day and you do it every single day for an extended period of time, YouTube is probably going to look at that as pretty consistent.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, promote you more to new people and to, your people, I guess.
Right,
Your
right.
subscribers. Wow. It's definitely a world. I had like one channel long time ago when I was teaching Pilates, and then I have another one that's more like business stuff, and I just haven't gone back on. But I like video. Video's easy. Actually,
Very.
just showing up anywhere and talking is just okay. It's easy.
Yeah.
So I might have to look back into this. And because of all of this surge of all these tarot videos, I've actually been reading a little bit here and there and doing a pretty good job of it for my family.
Nice.
So, but I don't think I'm going to be doing it, as another business, but who knows? It's fun for now. So that's why I'm doing it.
Right. Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
So anyway, guys, I'm not talking to you, Chris, right now. I'm talking to all the people, obviously, who are listening. But if you want to check out Chris's channels, just search Minnow Pond Tarot, or just Minnow Pond, or just Minnow, and it comes up usually. And he goes live pretty much, every single day, unless he does a little notice to the community, and you will love it. It's a lot of fun, and it's a really cool group of people.
Yes, it is.
Yes, you're like, yes, it is. And so where else can they, is that like the main place where they can kind of find out who you are and a little bit more about you? Or are there other places that we can go? Do you have like a Facebook, anything, or no?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
do?
so I have Minnow. I think it's just Minnow Pond on Facebook. There's also Minnow Life. I'm going to be moving everything into probably the Minnow Life brand. So yeah, this is probably the wrong time to talk about this, but
Yeah, it's okay.
There's going to be a website for Minnow Life and everything. It's going to be all in one place, so I'm not spread out all over the place. And
Yeah.
we're going to keep it nice and organized, and that's what I'm going to do. But that will be coming in the next couple months.
That's awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait to see all that. Well, see, I knew I was watching for a reason. It is relevant. It's not just because of the tarot.
Right.
I just like to see how things like this kind of come together and how they take off. And I definitely see that for you, it's not even just YouTube. Like the people come back every single night, and I already feel a part of the community, and I love it. I love it. So I'm glad you came on today. Hopefully this was a fun conversation. And yeah, I can't wait to share it with everybody.
Had a great time. Thank you.
Awesome. And okay, one more. I'm going to ask you one more question.
Sure.
Share some sort of guilty pleasure in your minnow life, your actual real life. What's something that you either watch, do, or I know you like onions, and I've got I think you like
Right.
onions, and I have a problem with that. So just FYI, I'm an anti-onion person, but it's okay. It's all balanced here.
But
Yeah. So tell me about some guilty pleasure.
that onions is a guilty pleasure. I mean, I don't really talk about my diet all that much because I have a really strict diet, mostly because I have like severe eczema. So, but onions is like, I consider that a treat because of that. And so that's a guilty pleasure. What other? I would say probably Netflix is a guilty pleasure of mine as well. And also, I have an electronic skateboard that I like drive around really fast around town. So that's my other guilty pleasure.
Okay. Well, those aren't too bad. Those aren't too bad. Sometimes I'll hear like funny reality shows that people watch that you don't expect. But you know what? And it's what's interesting. I'm going to just say this about Washington. When we first moved up there, because we were up there for like 6 years, I read something about how a lot of kids actually have eczema in that Washington area. It's something, and there are a lot of people specifically in the area we were living in.
Huh.
Which I
That
didn't.
is interesting.
And oddly enough, my daughter also has that off and on here when it gets Seattle like in Los Angeles, which is not often, but it does get that way here.
Right.
So, okay. Well, cool. Thanks for sharing all that. And we're going to make sure I'll put links to everything. And I'm sure I'm going to ask you some more questions after I stop recording.
Of course.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. And make sure to check out the links in the show notes so that you can come over to the Minnow Pond readings. Of course, now I'm not going to be able to show up as myself. Oh, God. I'm going to have to hide now.
Right. Yes.
But that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, thanks for joining us today, Chris. That was great.
Thank you.
Thanks again for listening to the Fearless Launching Show. If you'd like to get access or find any of those links that we mentioned today, any of the websites, the YouTube channel, anything that we discussed will be linked down in the show notes or over at AnnSamoilov.com. As always, please head over to iTunes or whichever app you're watching this on and give us a thumbs up, give us a rating, tell us why you love the Fearless Launching Show, because it really does help support us, help support other people in finding this podcast, and I would be so appreciative if you did that. Thanks again, guys, and I will talk to you next week.